Hey guys, Gary Fong here. I just wanted to show you briefly this very key component of my 3-hour and 20-minute How to Photograph a Wedding video training course. This is called the Digital Event Image Control Sheet, and you'll notice that I've got it three-prong so that I can put it into a notebook. This thing is the digital management of all of your files and the preparation. Now, I've done a number of videos talking, helping people through the grief of being sued by former clients, and I want to show you how to prevent getting sued. And this is one way, is to carefully document and have a workflow on how you prepare for the wedding day and also how you safeguard the files all the way to completion, to delivery to the client. So let's go ahead and take a look at this sheet. Now what this has here, just real quick, is it says list the cameras used. And the reason why I want to do that is because there are copyright conflicts that come up between photographers who say, hey, I shot that image, and so therefore I should have the copyright on it. And truth be told, a photographer who's a second photographer can literally hijack all your images and claim them for their own and prohibit you from selling them. I've seen that in a lawsuit. So what I like to do is, for every camera, put down the serial number and then assign it to a photographer. So if it's a second photographer or just a camera has a malfunction, you'll know which camera had the malfunction simply by this digital event control sheet. So what you see here is a list of the cameras used, type in serial number. So camera 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Up to 5 cameras here. Camera assigned to and the initials. So if it's me and 2 second shooters, I'm going to give each photographer a certain camera, and the batteries are charged by. Now this is where we get into the responsibility to show the judge in case you get sued factor. It shows that you know, I've got all these batteries to charge and my assistant Bill charged them or whatever, so that we know that when we get to the event all of the batteries are charged. Spare batteries were charged by. So this is your workflow sheet. This shows you exactly how to be organized about preparation. You'll notice that this top section here is the preparation part. Clock synchronized by. And what I like to do is I make sure, and this is shown in the wedding photography course, how to synchronize the clocks to the split second. The reason why that's important is because if you have 3 different cameras going, it's really great to be able to edit them in the time sequence that they were shot. So for example, it's really a pain when one camera is timed the 3 hours ahead, and of course the file numbers are all going to be an absolute mess. And so many of these things happen to wedding photographers who try to you know, shoot for the first time. It's just simply not organized. Resolution settings checked by. We want to make sure that the resolution set to, you know, RAW or the highest resolution possible. ISO set to automatic or 640. And what I like to do is I like to set the ISO to 640 at the start of the day if they are to be manual. That way it gives us the greatest range between outdoor and indoor, or automatic. And then sensor checked for dust by. So I'll teach you in the video course how to take a picture of a wall and look for dust, because you want to make sure that you do that, or you're going to spend countless hours retouching out image by image. Tone contrast settings set to neutral if you're shooting in JPEG. This is all explained in the video. Now, cards used and ID tags. So every card gets a number on it, and I'll talk about file rotation of cards. And what I want to do is have one set of cards that is put away in a safe on that event until we know that the client has received everything from that event. And that's extremely important, simply because if the client does not, if there's a problem with backup of the drive or something like that, then you have the ultimate backup, which is the original card. So we like to take those cards out of circulation. Hope that makes sense, but that's extremely important. That is your ultimate backup. So take those cards, A, B, C, D, E, and put them in the safe. And for the next event, go F, G, H, I, J, K. That way, you'll always have a fresh set of cards, and you'll always have the ultimate backup. Shooting a wedding is a very serious undertaking that requires the utmost in professionalism. Everything is vitally important: equipment selection, media preparation, and image cataloging. Understanding the schedule of the wedding day, finding the best background for portraiture, setting up the most flattering lighting or lens selection for portraiture or reportage, getting people to pose naturally alone or in groups, and most of all, how to optimize your camera and instincts to catch the high-impact moments that bring the most treasured memories back. I've shot over 1,000 weddings in my 20-year career, and in that time, I learned to improve, hone, streamline, and optimize every aspect of my shooting and business skills. Additionally, I am a leading photography products manufacturer, so one of my duties is to test and evaluate my accessories on all types of equipment. For this wedding, we had 3 video cameras going, 2 filming me and the event, but 1 actually inside the camera. This offers you a rare look at what the photo looked like in my lens when I shot it with the settings lit up on that display screen. After the wedding, I go through a complete image review. This video alone takes over an hour of viewing time. In fact, the entire course is over 3 hours long. I then follow it up showing how I lay out the beautiful Leather Craftsman albums, which are then designed by my album designer Amy at Albumesque. I promise you, you will not find a more comprehensive training on wedding photography anywhere else. Within the video, you have links that go directly to PDFs online that you can print out for your own use. So it is truly a multimedia experience. You can access this and many, many other videos by subscribing to my premium channel at GaryFong.com. And also, I have hundreds of free videos on my YouTube channel that have helped millions of photographers worldwide enjoy the beautiful art of photography. Cards formatted by. So we want to make sure that every card is formatted before the event. So this whole section right up here is what we call the pre-event preparation. Now down here is the post-event image management. Cards returned from event, so we want to make sure we have A, B, C, D, E, F. And so I pull out the sheet after the event. Now this normally goes, a copy of it goes in the camera bag so that after the event or maybe at the reception, I just want to make sure that I have A, B, C, D, E, and F. And then then cards are backed up to the hard drive by, so you can really get just confused and disorganized. Oh, I left the cards there. Did I back those up? And oh wait, you know, and all that. So it's really great to have the sheet to check off after you've done every process. I can't even tell you how many hours of time or how many images that you potentially could save out there. I mean, one of the reasons that I invented the light sphere was to save the blown out images from photographers, because I knew that they were losing so many precious moments because the flash was blowing images out. Well, this is something that I really take to heart, because I really want you to have the ability to make sure that you have your workflow on making sure your batteries are charged, making sure that your files, your cards are formatted, and we know who did them. Okay, so then original cards backed up to DVD. I like to use these archival gold. These are like 200-year archival, and I think they're about 20 bucks each, but they're so totally worth it, because you know, if you have any precious photos, always use these. You can see it right here, BDR6X, and protects better than a hard drive, won't corrode or error, and 200-year archival rated, resists scratching and damage. So that's what we call deep archiving, and deep archiving is always done with the original files. It's so easy to get tempted and just say, you know what, those are big ass raw files, and oh, I'm just so tired of like having to store all those. So then you go and you kind of goof with it in Lightroom, and then you wind up saving only the JPEG file, and then after you save the JPEG file, then you find out later, oh, I blew out some highlights, or there's something that I wish I would have done, and you can't go back to RAW, right? Okay, so then after the cards are backed up to hard drive so you put your initials here, so you can see that there's one for every card. Okay, so there's every single camera will have an initial. If there's 2 cameras, you know, you won't use any of those things here. Okay, so now photographer number 1, number 2, initials, and signature and print here. Now the reason why that area is down there is for lawsuit protection. Under copyright law, if you take a photograph, you own the rights to that photograph. Now I've seen this happen in celebrity weddings where a second shooter literally said that image was mine, and there's no way to prove it. There's literally no way to prove it. So the photographer can say, I prohibit you from using any image that I took, and without the ability to weed out which ones were yours or which one were theirs, you've got a big problem. The other problem that you could have is that if you shoot and you wind up having, you know, a training one photographer, you can separate that person's work out and make a separate gallery and see how their progress is. But most photographers will take all the cards, dump them together, and they don't know who shot what, and that is just asking for trouble. So here you have photographer's signature and print name here. That way, if it goes to litigation, you say this is the record that showed the card that the photographer then received, that the photographer then signed and said that all of the ones on the camera are mine. So therefore, it makes sense to say, don't switch cameras around during the event. Hope that makes sense. Okay, then the last part is the editing and presentation. So image review and cataloging, and this is all workflow. Hard drive copy number 2 for work set. So we don't want to use the original backup drive to do our editing or our Lightroom or everything like that. Put it to a second drive and then go into Lightroom and do all of your modifications. The deletion of outtakes. We want to do that to make sure that we know where we are. I mean, if I look down the sheet and I just go, okay, all these are checked off and everything like that, but now I am at deletion of outtakes. And if you shoot a number of events, you can get completely lost in the workflow and forget where you're at. Just imagine a bunch of cards on your table and going, wait, did I back that up? Did I back that up twice? Wait, was this from that wedding before? Oh, and the reason why I like to use the a fresh set of cards is because you know, say for example, you went to all of these procedures and then you go, oh no, one of my drives just completely blew. You'll always have the original set of cards. So images corrected and retouched. So down here, this is all workflow. And you notice this says goal or promise date for the client and then completion. Edited DVD created for storage. Now there's a second DVD created for storage. So that would be the JPEGs. That would be the ones that you've actually retouched out, you know, the red door or something like that. Copied of edited DVD created for safety, copy of edited DVD created for clients, if you do that, if you give your images to the clients. So this sheet right here is worth, I hate to say this, but I promise you something always goes wrong. And the amount of time that you spend trying to mop up your mess is tremendous. And so the reason why I created this sheet, this workflow sheet, after having 20 years of shooting over 1,000 weddings, is so that this does not happen to you. And again, you're going to see when I talk about cases where photographers are getting sued and everything like that. If you get sued, all you need to do is go up to the judge and say, Your Honor, this is, I promise the... Oh, by the way, in the course, you get... In the course, you also get a copy of my contract. Now, it's not to say that you're supposed to copy it. I strongly discourage that. I just say, you know, get 1 hour with an attorney and talk about the contract and have one made, because I've seen too many hybrid contracts where it's like, and under the jurisdiction of Delaware law, you know, code section, da 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 da, and then another thing will say, we're allowed to eat at the reception. Okay, check here. You know, so I've seen kind of hodgepodge contracts put together, and contracts are another way of not getting sued. Okay, so that is all included in my How to Photograph a Wedding course. Simply the most complete, concise course, not only on how to shoot, what equipment to use, but also the workflow, editing, presentation, and sales. Thanks for watching.